Meta just introduced Muse Spark, the first model from Meta Superintelligence Labs. The headline is not only that it is stronger. The headline is that Meta is changing strategy, multimodal reasoning, product integration, private API preview, and no open weights at launch. In this review, we will look at what Muse Spark is, what the benchmarks say, where it looks strong, where it still trails, and whether builders should care right now. Muse Spark is described by Meta as the first model in its new Muse family. It is natively multimodal, supports tool use, visual chain of thought, and multi-agent orchestration. It is available through Meta AI and the Meta AI app, with a private API preview for select users. That makes this very different from the Llama playbook. The model is product first, not developer first. For years, developers watched Meta because Llama made strong models widely available. Muse Spark signals a different lane. It is built to power Meta AI across Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and the standalone app. That could mean massive consumer reach, but it also means less control for developers until API access is broader and pricing is public. Independent benchmark coverage from artificial analysis puts Muse Spark at 52 on its intelligence index. That is behind Gemini 3.1 Pro, GPT 5.4, and Claude Opus 4.6, but ahead of many strong models. The caveat is important. One index is not the whole story, and every team should test its own workflows. The standout claims are vision and reasoning. Artificial analysis reports 80.5% on MMU Pro, second only to Gemini 3.1 Pro in their benchmark set. It also reports 39.9% on Humanity's last exam, and notes strong token efficiency. 58 million output tokens for the intelligence index run, close to Gemini and far lower than several high-effort frontier runs. Meta's own blog says it is still investing in long-horizon agentic systems and coding workflows. Artificial analysis also says agentic performance does not stand out. That matters for this channel. If your work is coding agents, repo automation, terminal tasks, and SaaS build loops, Muse Spark may be interesting, but not yet an obvious replacement for your current stack. Meta is also rolling out Contemplating mode, which coordinates multiple agents' reasoning in parallel. Meta says this mode reaches 58% on Humanity's last exam and 38% on frontier science research. That sounds impressive, but it is rolling out gradually, and the developer experience around cost, latency, and API controls is still the real question. Right now, Muse Spark matters most inside Meta's own products. For builders, the important missing pieces are public API access, pricing, latency, rate limits, structured output behavior, tool calling reliability, and whether Meta exposes the same reasoning modes developers actually want. Until those are clear, the practical move is to watch closely, not rebuild your stack around it. There are three big caveats. First, it is proprietary and not open weights. Second, benchmark strength does not guarantee coding agent reliability. Third, consumer product integration may move faster than developer platform access. Muse Spark could become a major model, but the switching decision depends on API details and real workflow tests. Before Muse Spark becomes part of a serious developer workflow, I would run 4 tests. First, check API shape, tool calls, JSON reliability, context limits, streaming, and error handling. Second, measure cost and latency per completed workflow, not just per token. Third, test real repositories, issue triage, code edits, terminal tasks, and regression handling. Fourth, decide whether Meta's product-first model actually helps your users or your pipeline. If those checks pass, Muse Spark becomes much more than a headline. My verdict is 8.3 out of 10. Muse Spark is the strongest signal in a while that Meta is back in the frontier race. The multimodal and reasoning story is compelling. The benchmark jump from Llama 4 is real signal, and Meta has distribution most labs can only dream about. But for developers, the current answer is, test it when you can, track the API, and do not assume it replaces your coding or agent stack yet. Subscribe for grounded AI, coding, and automation reviews.